Very good morning, everyone. We're just going to wait possibly another minute. We've got a fantastic number of people in the house already, so please hold tight. We'll probably wait another 60 seconds, something like that. But big welcome. We're going to get into the meat of the topic very shortly. So thank you very much for joining us. And we've got lots of exciting things to talk about. I'm here with Hugh Braser, and with myself, Nick Rusling. We're co-chairing this initiative, but there's a huge team that's been putting in a lot of time in quite a short space of time to bring this together. So we look forward to telling you all about it shortly. We're going to wait, we hope, getting up to 2,000 of you, which is a great number. Thank you.
So yeah, I hope you're all enjoying the sunshine that we've got and the good weather. Certainly does make things more bearable when we have great weather in self-isolation and when we're social distancing. So yeah, just really pleased that you're able to join us today.
Good, thank you, Hugh. So we're over the 2,000 mark, which is astonishing. We set about this project just a week ago, and we've now this for us is a key moment because we get to talk to you guys, the charities, and that's what this is all about. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you, I think, on behalf of everyone here, for those of you who are still working and obviously offering crucial services support during these times, and so many charities are coming to the fore. But what we're for is for all charities. We're here for every single charity, and that is the crucial point of difference with what we're creating and going to be explaining today. So just a little bit of backstory for everybody. We've got a slide up around sort of mass participation sports organisers. Hugh and myself, that's our background. And I think with that background, it gives us a lot of understanding and empathy for charities. I used to work for a charity myself, 3 years with Sparks, the mighty Sparks, and even delivering mass participation events abroad where the charity world doesn't exist like we have it here in the UK. Gives us a really intimate understanding of the importance of charities as a fundamental capillary of our society. And so that's why a number of us from the world of mass participation have come together. We're just putting the work in behind the scenes. This initiative is going to transcend us, and it's going to transcend the country, and it's very much designed to support you guys, the charities. So that's just a little bit of background. I'll hand over to Hugh to just pick up on a little bit more of the backstory as well.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, as Nick said, these are the mass participation sports organisers, the largest in the country, have got together because, as everyone is aware, many of our events have been either cancelled or postponed. And you, the charities, are a really important customer of ours. The work that you do, as Nick says, is so important to society. And we are well aware of the huge issues that the sector is facing at the moment. And we really want to try and help. We want to try and help because the London Marathon, which I'm the event director of, is the largest one-day annual fundraising event in the world. And normally on the 26th of April, thousands of charities would be benefiting. Over £66 million would be being raised, and there would be so many positive stories. And the mass participation organisers have got together and using that day, we want to really try and create a day where all of UK charities are able to get involved and able to raise funds. And we do realise that it is a very difficult time for the sector. We realise that there are many staff who have been furloughed, that many of you might be on furlough watching this. But what we hope is by the end of it that we show that what we've created is a campaign that all of you can get behind. That it is for you. It's trying to make your difficult job a little easier with some great collateral, with a campaign for all of you to get behind. And we're so aware that the £4 billion is the amount of money that the effect of COVID-19 can have, and it really is that we want to ensure that we've created a campaign for everyone and to highlight what is going on to charities throughout the UK. That's small charities, large charities. And as we'll show later in this presentation, this really is the country. We're trying to get the country united and together to help raise funds for you and enable it to happen in a way that is easiest for you. So back over to you, Nick.
Thank you. So you can see we're under the heading here of Save the UK's Charities. Save, we've debated as a word. Should it be support? We know we're not single-handedly saving the UK's charities. We're here to help save them. But this is also a public-facing word, and it's a motive. And I think the spirit of what it's conveying was one that we wanted to stress some urgency around. So we just wanted to let you know, we've spoken to many charities about it, and broadly that's sort of understood. So hopefully, no, that doesn't sort of frustrate anyone. We're not being arrogant with that position. I assure you, as much debated. But Save the UK's Charities is really the banner of what we're getting behind. And we'll come on to the next slide as to what the initiative is. We're just going to leave you tantalized with that one for a second. But the initiative around Save the UK's Charities is to raise 67 million, which would replicate the London Marathon's efforts. And as a number, we believe it's achievable. And crucially, it's to do that by the end of April. And it's to get cash into your bank accounts quickly. And we'll come on to the mechanics around that as well. So 67 million is the mission. We're talking to government to try and match it, and conversations are going in there at a senior level. But from what we can control, that is the push. So just in simple terms, 2.6 million. We've created a challenge that can and hopefully will engage everybody, young, old, athletic, not so athletic. Does not matter. It's about getting stuck in. So 2.6 million. Is a number we believe is achievable, and we'll get into the marketing platform that we've got, which is significant as to how we can achieve that. And 26 quid, that's going to be the ask. People can fundraise, they can donate, but from there the math starts to add up. And so what we have created to save the UK's charities is the 2.6 challenge, which is really set up, as we said, to get money into your bank accounts. So Hugh, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so the 2.6 challenge. This is taking place on and from the 26th of April. As I mentioned previously, that was the day that the London Marathon, the 40th race, would have taken place. And people really shouldn't be exercising long distances. They should be doing it close to their home. So in homage to the 26.2 miles that a marathon is, this is the 2.6 challenge. And it is anything and everything revolving around the words 2.6, 26, any iterative of that. And we have, through our website, lots of ideas, which we'll talk about later. But it is simply to inspire the nation to get active and to get fundraising. And that's the simple message. We want to help save the UK charities. This isn't, as Nick said, going to do it on its own, but we really hope that it is, because we're trying to make it as inclusive as possible for charities, whatever size that you are, that everyone can get involved. And it really starts to build the conversation that Britain needs to understand, that the importance of the work that you do and that you do now, that you have done previously, and you will be doing in the future, needs to be funded throughout the sector. And that's the 2.6 challenge. We're delighted to unite behind that cause. We've had other mass participation event organisers on a webinar yesterday, and we'll talk more about some of the amazing partnerships and how we hope to get Britain behind this 2.6 challenge. So Nick, back to you.
Thank you. So a bit more about the challenge. What can people do? We're aware that 2.6 is not as simple as, say, the 5K challenge that's out there and doing great things as well. And that's deliberately so because it's designed to be creative and it's designed to be massively inclusive. Just a very quick example. My mother is 76. She's got extremely bad rheumatoid arthritis. She's had since she was 42. And she's already been practicing. She's doing 26 lengths of her fairly short front path. She's put down some tins of baked beans as cones, so it's become her arena and her stadium with no one there to cheer her. But she will be doing 26 up and down for St Christopher's Hospice. So it's just one example of many that we really hope will ignite the creativity of this country. Hugh will talk about it in a bit, but the celebrities we've been talking to, they've all been coming out with their own take on it, and that will be the fun. So it will be any challenge, just a few listed here: run, walk, skip, ride, scoot 2.6 miles or kilometers. Personally, I'm hopping 2.6 kilometers in my garden. Hugh is going to be skipping 26 times, but then doing that 26 times to get to 667 skips, I believe, which will be the amount of money we're hoping to raise in millions. So that's what we're doing. And we really think that the way that social media works is going to ignite the creativity. We will have so many massive names with huge followings getting behind this. So choose a challenge. There'll be a load of ideas on our website, 2.6challenge.co.uk. And then we'll get into the fundraising bit. Choose a challenge, choose your charity, get money to them. It's as simple as that.
So as Nick said, I'm doing 26 skips and 26 times 667 skips. I'm having a recovery of 26 seconds in between each set of skips, and I'm raising it for pancreatic cancer. My daughter, aged 9, is doing 10 backflips, I believe. 26 backflips. She hasn't yet chosen the charity she's going to raise for, but that's part of the conversation that we're having. And this is all ages, all abilities, really getting behind it. And what we're asking you to do is to get your supporters behind it and raise funds for your charity. I'm going to be doing it for pancreatic cancer. But we're really imploring everyone to choose their charity and get behind that. And what we have is some amazing partners involved in this, and this is just a small selection of them. The Institute of Fundraising, Charities Aid Foundation, the Small Charities Coalition, and some fantastic work has been done on the website by Studio Republic. This has all been done pro bono, and the social media platforms and the engagement by Livewire. And there really is an enormous amount of work that's gone on in an incredibly short space of time. We're looking that this will be across the UK. The BBC have already agreed to be profiling this. And they will be doing that on the Thursday night of the Great Night In. They will do it across news, across sport, across a multitude of platforms. We're engaging with ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, Sky, to ensure this truly is about how we can get the UK 2.6 million people, getting them active, inspiring them to get active, inspiring them to get fundraising, but doing it within the government guidelines of social distancing. It's on or from the 26th of April, but we really believe that date is the date that the London Marathon has as media interest. There are programs that will be going on the marathon. Eliud Kipchoge, who is involved, he will be also doing a 2.6 challenge from I-10 as a program on the BBC profiling him. There's potentially another one on the sort of the history of the marathon and looking at the future. And this is part of the future. And this is about, as we say, really emphasizing that there are so many charities that need support, and really showing Britain that is happening. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you. So just a bit more as to how it can work for you. Again, we really do have a feel, or a decent feel, around the amount of resource that's available. There will be one-person bands. There will be big teams out there with a lot of people furloughed. There'll be people there who having to all of a sudden become IT experts with no expertise. And equally, there are priorities. We understand that it's about backing the biggest opportunities at this moment in time. It's absolutely, if ever there was a time to focus on that, it's now. And we really think this is the big opportunity, and it can complement a lot of what you're doing. If you're talking to big donors at the moment, that's understandable. This can complement, and the conversations we've had with all sorts of sizes of charities, this can quite easily nestle in and complement what you're doing. On a simple level, you don't have to do much. You can just spread the word through social media, through an email, and you can get more and more into it. And it depends on how much you've got available to you. You can get suppliers involved, your businesses, you can get your councils involved, their staff, their workforces. So wherever your sphere of influence, you could get them involved. It depends on how much time and effort you're able to, but it's set up for you to get stuck in. And we'll get into the marketing toolkit, which we've designed so that it's really simple. There can be a header or footer to an email, something to put out on social media. So really simple tools there for whatever your capabilities will have. People on the end of a phone to help you from an IT perspective as well. So we're going to be asking charities to get stuck in and use it, and you guys are the first port of call. From here, we're also emailing with the Supportive Institute of Fundraising, Small Charities Coalition, the 170,000 charities in this country as well, to let them know about this opportunity. So it's really get involved, find out more. There'll be a toolkit. The website will be set up at the end of the day or first thing tomorrow morning. In terms of the money, there are simple mechanics which we'll come on to, but CAF, the Charities Aid Foundation, will be coordinating and administering the central pot. So if money is donated to a central pot, which is only one way people can donate, that will get distributed to every charity that's been involved. So all of you that get involved will get a proportionate amount of money from that central pot. Will get distributed very, very quickly. Then there's Virgin Money Giving and Just Giving, two partners that have really, really been stuck in. And again, people can donate or they can fundraise. Simple mechanics. People are used to donating. If they don't want to go out and ask other people in these times, then that's understandable as well. Donate or fundraise. And again, the money will be distributed within a week of the usual processing. I think it's by Tuesday of each week that the money will get straight out to you guys. We've been talking about the administration fees as well, which you will go on to a little bit more detail. But there's been a huge amount of work to make that clean, efficient, and crucially for the public to understand how they can get money directly out to the charities that they want to choose. And then there's a central pot as well, in case people don't want to choose.
Thank you, Nick. So just want to say that, we realise that the 26th of April is not long away, and we realise that there are small charities, there are big charities, and that many staff have been furloughed. And this is really up to you about whether you would like to get involved. And we really hope you do, because it's a campaign that we're trying to make things as simple as possible. These slides and all the marketing collateral will be emailed to you overnight. So it will be in your inbox in the morning. It will launch tomorrow. And as Nick said, just with the mass participation sports organisers, we have over 5 million email addresses on our database. We have incredible support across sport in the UK, from governing bodies all over, whether it's the English Cricket Board, whether it is British Athletics, a raft of governing bodies, Sport Scotland, Sport Wales, a huge number of organisations are getting behind it, and it just will not only be about sport. We have celebrities getting involved. We already Rio Ferdinand, Usain Bolt, Andrew Strauss. There are many others that will be announced over the next 10 days. And the website will go live by overnight. So you will be able to see everything. You will be able to download everything from the website if you do not receive the emails. But this really is about trying to encourage, if you can, all charities to get involved. And the Institute of Fundraising have been fantastic in supporting this, and the Small Charities Coalition. And on this slide, you can see that they're setting up, that they will help small charities to get involved, as will Virgin Money Giving and Just Giving. So there are some slides on that later, but you'll see that there are some email addresses to try and help people, the charities, to manage this in the way that they can, because we do realise that there's a lot going on. That this is just another initiative, but we hope with the collective power of the groups that we've got together, that this is something that genuinely will galvanize the nation, get them active, inspire them to be active, and inspire them to get fundraising. And those are the two really simple messages. Help save our charities. It's the 2.6 challenge, and do it whichever way you want. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you. Just to carry on from that point, actually, the other layer that is going to be really important, which will have a longer term effect, we think, to support the charities, is the education to the British public, and the message of Save the UK's charities that we can all talk about needs to sink in. There's some stats out there which I'm sure you'll be more than aware of around the direct debit form of giving, and about how many cancellations, how many people are not signing on that might usually have done. And that's just one example of where perhaps charity giving is in terms of prioritization for the public at the moment, when there are obviously many other concerns. So we need to reprioritize. We need to make sure charity is at the very top of the pile, and not just this week, next week, but for months to come. We know that when we're all back out and working again, that money doesn't turn on immediately. Fundraising takes time. Events take time to organize. So this is something that needs to land hard, and we think this initiative can really get sort of fundraising, charities, the importance of charities in society right at the top of the agenda. So just to delve into something a bit more specific for the fundraising. So the options, as we said, we're working with Just Giving and Virgin Money Giving. You can decide to use your own platforms as well. We'll come on to that in a second. But you can fundraise, or you can ask your supporters to fundraise or donate. The website is the best way to channel that through. And there are very simple ways that the public can click and then choose their charity once they've done that. And that will be the same for Virgin Money Giving and for Just Giving. Again, there's emails at the bottom to support. If you're not signed up with those guys, they're going to fast track the process. They're going to waive administration fees for charities to sign on to their platforms, so you can make sure that you're up and running on those platforms straight away. And I think really importantly, just to reiterate, there will be this central pot. We don't know how successful that will be, but it will be a clear option for members of the public to donate directly to the Save the UK's Charities pot, and the money will be distributed proportionally as to what each charity involved through Just Giving and Virgin Money Giving have raised, and that will get distributed on a weekly basis through CAF. So really, it's an opportunity for small charities to really sort of make their mark on that central pot, really make their mark, and get a bigger chunk of the pie. So you're incentivized effectively to get stuck in, and you'll get more of that central pot as well. I'm sure there'll be many questions around Virgin Money Giving and Just Giving. I won't cover them all off now. There's a Q&A at the end, and we've got more information available. So we'll move on to the next slide.
Yeah, and as Nick was saying, I mean, really, what we're saying to you is or asking you, and it's your choice with this is get your supporters to raise funds for you, and you can do it on whatever platform you want. However, if you are doing it on Virgin Money Giving or Just Giving, you will get part of that central fund. So this is a unique circumstance, and what we've tried to set up is a method that will allow the greatest number of people to either raise funds directly for you or to give to the central pot. And if they give to the central pot, it will be disseminated on the same ratio of funds that have been raised on those two platforms combined. This is also for community groups as well as charities. So it can be done through the crowdfunding platform on Just Giving. And we really want to try and make sure that community groups and charities really benefit from this, because the work that you do is so important. And as we know that we're still in negotiations on fees, with what we're trying to do is ensure that the maximum amount of money goes to the good causes. So there will be further details coming out on that, but in terms of we want the maximum amount of money to go to charities. So there are really senior conversations happening, incredibly senior levels to do that. And what we're trying to do also, as we say, is get the government to match fund this, and they would do it through the fact the 2.6 challenge, both the central fund and the amount of money that's been raised on those two platforms. I'm sure there are lots of other ways that it could be being done, but in the timescale that we have, and as Nick said, I mean, this was the group came together. They've come together through sustainability originally, and we pivoted into this only on the 3rd of April. So it's been an incredibly short time. So we have a toolkit, and this is to try and make things as easy as possible for people. It will be sent to everybody registered on this. And please do then send it to other charities that you know who would want to get involved. We really hope that this is one of those moments where, as we say, Britain gets active and it gets fundraising, and it does it for charities in a way that activity has never done before, is really honestly what we hope. £67.6 million is a huge target. But this toolkit has headers, footers, it's got press releases, it's got Instagram stories. There are a host of different pieces of collateral that are available for you to use in the way that you deem fit. Thank you very much, and back to you, Nick.
Thank you. So what do you need to do next? The challenge starts on the 26th of April. So you've got time. In this weird world of ours, time seems to be moving slowly and quickly all at the same time, but you've got time, and that's crucial. And that is to get the event collateral from the website. The information will be there from tomorrow. Get your head around it, understand it. You don't need to rush. In the meanwhile, start to think about how you can communicate it outwards to your supporters, to your spheres of influence, businesses, databases, and how you want to convey the information around the 2.6 challenge. It begins on the 26th of April. So we're starting to send emails to these 5 million databases and more from the end of this week. We're only starting to ramp up social media from Wednesday next week. So that's the points in time that you can then be joining in. And don't just send one email and hope for the best. Keep repeating it, keep repeating it. This message will sink in, and hopefully the more people hear about it from other sources, all these forms of media, and they get the message from you, that's going to trigger them into action to support you specifically. So download the information from the website, get your collateral together, your audiences together, work out how you can send that out. We've got nice marketing tools to support you. Use them as much or as little as you want, and encourage them to fundraise, get involved on social media. So it's as simple as that. The website won't be set up to list all the charities involved. The charity involvement will be down to you. But we are there to save the UK's charities, and then it's up to you to run with that and get your support up and running and get the fundraising in place so the money can get to you directly. We will be doing all we can to keep promoting that. You've got to jump in and use that for your own channels. So quite importantly, next steps here, what do you need to do? Go away, tell colleagues, because I think the more support you've got individually here on this call, get colleagues involved, look at the website tomorrow together, think about how it can be used, make sure you understand it can be complementary to all the other initiatives you're trying to do, no doubt, and then get it out there, become part of the story. The more people part of that story over the next week and a half, building up to the 26th, the bigger and bigger and bigger it's going to be. So some simple next steps there, guys, that you can hopefully digest and move ahead with. But the website really is going to be well set up to support you.
And just to thank you, Nick, just to reiterate what Nick has said, and just to try and sort of answer some of the questions. The central pot will be distributed by CAF, and it will be distributed on the percentage of money that has been raised across VMG and Just Giving to the charities that have raised on those two platforms. Just Giving and Virgin Money Giving will be distributing the money to charities as they normally do, which is usually, I believe, within a week. We are looking that this is on and from the 26th, but we're really saying it's about a 5-day campaign from the 26th until probably Friday. Potentially that we have plans. Could it be hugely successful? Could we carry on further at different months? Possibly. But really what we're trying to do is focus on this day, but make sure that people do stick to government guidelines on social distancing. We're now here to answer any questions that we have. I would just say that the amount of work that all the mass participation event organisers have been involved in, Studio Republic, Livewire, Virgin Money Giving, Just Giving, is huge. And the speed that everyone is working at is incredible. We will be adding things as we go on in the next 10 days to just make this bigger and better. More celebrities, more ideas, and we will be doing what we can. But it is an incredible amount of work that's been done. And I'd just really like to thank Nick for the work that he's done, Paul Foster, the Great Run, Limelight, Run for Wales, all the amazing mass participation organisers have got together to try and do what we can to help the amazing causes that each of you are raising funds for and are so needed in these difficult times.
Just to jump in there, Hugh, a few questions. that are coming through. The other key action point for charities, maybe a number of the small charities aren't registered on Just Giving and Virgin Money Giving. It's to do that as well. It really is a quick process. They've removed some of the steps that might have taken a little bit of time. So it's a very quick process. And by being up and running on those, it means you will be getting some money from the central pot as well. So there's no harm in making sure you're up and running there and building that into the story that you communicate as to how people can get money to you. Plus, you can build your own channels in as well. So very importantly, get signed up on those two channels, and that will enable you to be part of the central fund through CAF as well. Other questions, the government matched fund, again, just, it's really important to say that we think the fairest way is to reward charities that have got stuck in. We're not here, we cannot be here to decide who is the most worthy. What we're here to do is to support all UK charities, and that is the most important thing, the entire industry. In terms of the central fund, then that will be those that get stuck in and get involved. So really, the more people involved, the better, the bigger the pot, and the more everyone benefits. And I can't stress enough this collective effort that is needed. Everyone's going to have their own focus on their own particular financial situation. But at the same time, the more the message sinks in that we can all be part of, we're going to be talking to millions and millions and millions of people ourselves. Where the charities have got to get involved in the communication is expressing the emotion and the sentiment very specifically around your own causes and what everyone's doing. And the power of that message together is going to be so powerful that we're going to hit it hard in the next 2 weeks, and that will hopefully sink in for the following months. So it's just such an important time. We know that there are priorities and other things on, but genuinely we think this is the best way that the public love doing a challenge, the public love being part of something collectively, and combine that with your connection with the public. And that's the key. What is your connection? Get them to give money to you.
Yeah, and thank you, Nick. In terms of, yes, this is being recorded, this webinar. It will be sent to you, the decks. You only need to raise funds on one platform. If you want to raise on both platforms, it is absolutely fine. It is us aggregating the amount of money raised on those platforms, which will determine the dissemination of money on CAF. We don't have time at this stage to add other people to that process. As I say, both Virgin Money Giving and Just Giving have waived their registration fees, and we're there to try and help. This is about you asking your supporters to raise funds using this 2.6 challenge idea with the collateral that we've got, and do it for your charity. Get behind the social media. The London Marathon the London Marathon social media channels will be switched over tomorrow to the 2.6 challenge. So straight away, again, we've got an amazing platform there, and the influencers and the celebrities that we are talking to, when those gets announced, they have hundreds of millions of supporters, followers behind those influencers and celebrities. So that is how we hope that we are going to be enormously successful. The work that you do, we have another seminar later on this afternoon for businesses. We're trying to get Britain's businesses behind this as well, and that they will get their staff involved. As I say, there are event organisers, and we really hope that together we can galvanise the nation to get active and get fundraising for all of UK charities.
We've been asked a question about the types of challenge that people could do really is the hopefully we're going to find all sorts of weird and wonderful ones over the next few weeks, but just sort of some of the examples we're using. There's obviously a distance related, so 2.6k, 2.6 miles, somehow, some format in the space you've got available to you. It's going to be a lot of repetition, no doubt. But that's a simple one. As I said, I'm doing hopping. There's duration, 26 minutes of dancing, of skipping, of exercise, of an exercise class. Do it with some friends. There's things that don't involve sport. There's 26 pancake tosses, that type of initiative. There's press ups. We've got golf chipping. We've got throwing things into basketball hoops, balls in buckets, you name it. There's one golf challenge which is so difficult that it's taking about 3 days so far. That's with Trevor Nelson, the radio DJ, who's definitely cursing the fact he's chosen it. So he's doing some practice. So there's a real range, and we really think in terms of duration of campaign, this is just going to build and build once we're alive. So it's going to start off on the 26th of April. We haven't got an end date deliberately, but we anticipate that it will last no more than a week, and our efforts will be to push it through for a week if we can. So hopefully Sunday the 26th will just be the start point, and all this creativity, all this fun, the challenges that people are having will snowball and get more and more people involved. So keep your wits about you as charities. Obviously, there's the build-up work and communication. Once it's alive, you can then use that opportunity to keep the story going and keep the funds coming in.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. And just also, do please get your fundraisers to say this is the 2.6 challenge. Just makes things is absolutely ideal. And on those two platforms, and they both Just Giving and Virgin Money Giving will try and prioritize, as it says on this deck, will try and prioritize any groups or charities that need to get registered so that can happen quickly. This does start from tomorrow in terms of emails going out to databases, but it will really start to ramp up from next week. But anything from tomorrow onwards, the crazier the challenge, around 2.6, around 26, tossing 26 pancakes, whatever it is, there will be a host of different ideas. The more fun, the more engaging they are, they will take off, they will go viral, and it will really, we hope, help support you in the amazing work that you do, and in these really difficult times, for so many people being furloughed, and for what's happened to fundraising since the beginning of March.
Thank you, Hugh. Last thing for me, really, just one great example. You might well have all seen it, but Captain Tom Moore, he's done 100 lengths of his garden. He's raised £5.5 million so far, supporting NHS charities. And that's one example. And through the 2.6 challenge, there will be examples like this. That's what the British public do incredibly well. There will be stories that will ignite interest, and that will inspire, and that will become fun and will become folklore. And we'll remember this times, hopefully, because of efforts around the 2.6 challenge. So really, Captain Tom Moore is one example. Please find your own Captain Tom Moores. The ask and the sort of next steps are really very simple. It's to get onto the website tomorrow, find out more. There'll be other questions asked around what is the 2.6 challenge. It's to go back internally to think about how you can communicate the 2.6 challenge to your supporter bases, to your spheres of influence, whatever they might be. Understand that it can complement other initiatives. It's to then get communicating using our marketing tools around the fact that the 2.6 challenge is set up for you as individual charities in the broader context to save the UK's charities. So let's do it together. It's a partnership from here. So we really want to do this together, and hopefully you've been inspired as well.
And thank you, Nick. And just like to reiterate, all the money that you raise for your charities on Virgin Money Giving and Just Giving and whatever platforms, they're the monies that go obviously direct to you in the normal manner. The central fund will get split up according to the amount of money, according to the proportion of the money raised for each charity across those two platforms. So we aggregate the amount. So as an example, if we had raised £100 million and it was only 10 charities, but those 10 charities had raised money evenly on that platform, and let's say that 100 million had been raised on the central platform, and they had raised 100 million on their platform, and it each been evenly, the central fund would be disseminated evenly. So it really is trying to just add something to where we're galvanizing the whole of the UK. But what we know is that those individuals will choose their charity and choose it through the platform to go to Virgin Money Giving or Just Giving. So the website will clearly signpost them to enable them to do that. We really hope that what we're trying to do with this central fund, as well as the funds that go directly to you immediately, is we're trying to ensure that there is the easiest way for the most number of people to get involved in Britain. 2.6 million people, 26 quid gets us to the 67.6 million pounds. It's a huge sum. If we could then get the government to match fund it, it would be £250 million. Sorry, 1/8. My maths for a moment deserted me. These are huge figures, and this is just down to us working together collectively. And just thank you so much for your time and attention today. We will answer as many questions as we can afterwards as well. As I say, the website and will be live later today. Both Virgin Money Giving, Just Giving, and other partners will be there to answer questions, and we will answer as many as we can. So thank you so much for your time.
One other one, sorry, another important one. This business initiative, 3:00 today. We're going to be doing another webinar where we're talking to businesses. Same message. But I think for businesses, Human Race are doing it. All of our colleagues, furloughed and non-furloughed, are all going to be doing a 2.6 challenge. It's a great way to keep in touch with colleagues. It's a great way to keep healthy, active. It's good for mental health at home to get people behind this sort of challenge as well. So businesses understand it. We've got Microsoft coming to also deliver within the webinar, explain how they're doing it. They're obviously massive businesses, though, big and small. They are a great source for you guys to get fundraising collectively and obviously in bigger numbers. So if you want to send businesses to come and find out more, there is a link at the top of this webinar page, I believe, that businesses can go on and sign up in the same way you've done. So please get out there quick and say to your best supporters from a business sense, come and find out more at 3:00 today, and we'll explain from their perspective how they can use it for colleagues to get stuck in. That's all from me. Thank you, everybody. We hope to do this together, and it's going to be hopefully really, really effective and powerful, but it needs to be a team effort, and it's already a team effort, but it's going to get bigger and bigger and involve the country. So we cannot wait.
Yeah, and thank you for me, and I really appreciate your time. And on behalf of the mass participation sports organisers, we are thankful of your time and attention, and look forward to really working with you and galvanising the nation. Thank you.